it's all backwards. It's like, usually it's a book and then it becomes a movie, but in this case we're like, okay, it was a book that nobody's seen yet, and but it came a short, and now it's nominated, and then we did an app in between everybody's looked at, and that better be good for the original idea, which was to do a book, which is about books. I mean, about the power of books and the joy of books, and how books can change your life. The production of books takes time. There's a big lag between when you finish a book and when it actually comes out. It's 8 months to a year. So, we're in this strange race to try to finish the book, so that we wanted it to come out before the short and come out before the app. But the thing with this new age we live in, you make a short film and you release it, and that you don't have to ask anybody. You just push a button and it's on, the iTunes store. And for the app, it was the same thing. Like, we're done. You submit it, they approve it in a few days, and then you push a button and it's there. So, books still have to go be printed and laid out and all this kind of stuff that has to, and they have marketing and they have, a big organization that goes into the production, selling of a book. This electronic age for apps and things, it's just you and your fellas, and when you're done, you push a button and then people can get it. So we didn't mean to outdistance the book, but that's just the way it worked out. And we're worried about it. I mean, my agent was like, don't do the app first. It's going to mess everything up. And I was like, I really feel like we got to get this app out. I think it's going to be, if we can be the first people to do a really beautiful story app, I think that will really mean something. And it'd be like, the first guy to do the first color television show or something. I don't know. It just felt like story apps were so new, or book apps. I mean, most book apps are kind of lame. I mean, they're just a scan of the book. So we decided that we wouldn't do an iBook of this, that we would do a story app, is what we call it. The Fantastic Flying Books of Morris Lessmore is it's a whimsical little parable, I guess, about a fellow who loves books, and he writes in his book every day, and he writes of his joys and his sorrows and everything he knew and everything that he hoped for. And then life has upsets, and suddenly everything he knows and everything he counted on is lost. And basically his story is wiped clean. His book no longer has its words, and he has to start over. And he wanders through this, destroyed landscape. It's all echoes Hurricane Katrina in a way at the beginning. And finds a place, everything even loses color, and it becomes black and white where he is. But he sees these books flying by, and they're in color, and they lead him to this building that's still intact. It's in color, and he goes inside that building. That building is full of books, and each one of them is whispering an invitation to adventure, is the way it's described in the book. And so he begins his life among the books, and he grows old, and the books take care of him. They read to him every night, read themselves to him every night. And he discovered early on that every book matters, is what he says, and he says that everybody's story matters. So he finishes his journal, and he comes to the last page in his journal, and he realizes it's time to move on, as he says. As he flies away, he turns young again, and he has his book with him, but he lets it go, and it flies back into the building with the books and goes and lives with the books. And though the books were sad to see him leave, he left his story behind with them. at the end it says it, and so our story ends as it began, with the opening of a book. So it's just about how your life can be ruined, you think, and the idea of taking care of things and, I don't know, books and stories and your own life story, and that you'll find your way, and that your story matters, and that what you do will be left behind, and what you do will be remembered, and what you do will matter. So in this weird way, it's completely raised the awareness of the book. And in this time when everybody's worried about, will books die, you know, are the tablets going to be the death of books? You know, what we've done has actually had totally the reverse effect, and I think that is the best news ever. I'm so stoked that, as counterintuitive as it sounds, that we've found a way to make books seem even more essential.